You know what? If I can sum tonight, it would be in one word, and that word would be wow. I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I knew Transmission was a huge festival, but you never really know till you're there. And I knew I was the first guy, so I was a little bit anxious. Maybe there isn't going to be enough people. You know, you never know. By the time I got onto the decks and I played my first track, the whole venue was full. And you know, I did something a little bit different this year. I wanted to kind of play a set with my own music. So every single track I played was either my own original or my own remix or my own remake, because I wanted to give them kind of like the Arnej experience, and I really hope everybody enjoyed it. You know, it took me a while to prepare for the show, but this is like one of the highlights for me personally this year. Kind of like that. I mean, those artists have their own unique styles, and I would think that the people out there expect a certain style out of me, and I didn't want to disappoint them. I wanted to give them what they came here for, which is my own unique take on trance. And it was one of the most refreshing things, actually, to be able to play whatever you want to play, any kind of trance you wanted to play. So I started like very slow and I built it up. And you know what? This is like Transmission. This is what trance is about. It's honestly one of the biggest festivals for trance music out there. You know what? I did take a peek before I went on just to see what's going on behind me. But I mean, if you know trance, you know that Transmission has always been about big production. So it's always been big visuals and like a theme that kind of melds everybody and all the artists together into like one unique experience. So there were moments during my set where I turned around just to see, okay, what are they seeing? Because I can't see everything because it's behind me, it's above me. So I turned around just to see, you know, like what is this visual experience all about? This is one of the most unique visual experiences. It doesn't even account into a fact that the music is a different experience, but just the visual experience in itself, I find that it blends both together. Once you have the visual, once you have the audio, you know what? You're in a state of trance. I think that the Europeans are still very much passionate about what trance has always been about, which is like this big shared experience. So something like Transmission is definitely a very unique experience, because it's you get to play trance, and you know whatever kind of trance you play, the crowd will know exactly what you're playing. So there's like a greater degree of education maybe when it comes to trance music, and it just makes you appreciate the fact that it's still true to its core. You know, this trance is still trance, and it always will be trance. I predict Transmission next year is going to be bigger and better. I just learned that basically this is the most popular Transmission. I'm pretty much sure it's actually sold out. So that kind of tells you that trance is still very big, and it's here to stay. I actually played a couple of new records that are going to be released next year, because I wanted the people to have a unique experience, not just play records that they've heard a gazillion times before, but give them something new, something to look forward to. So there's probably 3, maybe 4 records that I played today that are yet to be released, that will be released sometime during the next year. I don't know if people noticed, but I was tweeting during my set. I wanted to let people know, like, this is a new track of mine, this is a new remix of mine. So some of them I think pretty much most of them I let people know what it is, but now it's like the mystery of it, like when is it going to come out. So I hope I gave them an experience, a unique experience, something that they can look forward to next year. You know what? It's a very tight community. Like the trance community is very tight. Everybody works together. So yes, I did actually collaborate with Marcus, and I did a track with Cosmic Gate, and I did a track with Ori Nielsen. So it's kind of weird that pretty much the only artists I've collaborated with in the last 2 years are playing the same event that I am. So it's a very unique experience because I have very close personal relationships with all of them. And I hope the fans like the tracks that we did, because I'm really hoping we can follow up on them and make new tracks together. You know what? It's no surprise that I'm a big fan of what WW is doing. And I met them in last October. I was in their studio. We started working on something. So I'm hoping to continue on that collaboration and work on it. And I think it might surprise people, because it's like, what can you expect out of Arnej and W&W combined together? So I'm kind of known for this kind of more emotional, darker, moody side of trance, and they're more on the other side, which is a little bit more happy, a little bit more uplifting. So like, what can you expect when you merge those two styles? So I really hope to continue on that. I'm also going to work with a really good friend of mine, Simon Patterson. We're going to start a new project together. It's going to be a little bit more heavy hitting, a little bit more techie. So that's something for next year that people can look forward to, and you can call it an exclusive, yeah. Honestly, my best advice would be patient, because it might seem on the outsider's point of view that this is something that happens overnight, but it's not. It's like you have to put in your time, you have to put in, you know, the productions, and there are going to be a lot of productions that aren't going to be good, but that doesn't mean you should give up. So, you know, keep trying, and eventually over time it'll get better and better. And you know what? Don't get caught up too much into like what's hot right now, because it might not be what's hot tomorrow. So just be unique to what you like and go there. You know, music is getting shorter and shorter because you kind of have to appease certain markets. So you have to make music for the fans, but at the same time, you're not giving them everything that you have. I mean, I remember when records used to be 7, 8, 9 minutes long. Now you have to almost make it but 4, maybe 5 minutes long. But when you make music that's so short, it's not that memorable. You have to give people a journey. So I think that's kind of been something that's been lost in the last 2 years. The journey of the song is not really there. So, but there's already signs that it's kind of coming back the way it used to be. You know, because you can only keep a fad for so long before something else becomes popular. So yeah, right now maybe tracks of like 5.5 minutes is hot, but I can already see producers are making longer tracks, because you want to give people more. You know, you want to give them an experience, not just like 2 minutes and then you're done. I want to wish Transmission a happy 10th birthday. I mean, it is one of the premier trance parties in the world, and the only thing I can hope is that, you know, people had a good time tonight, and I hope to come back next year and give them more, man.
This was a United Music event.